Alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Mention of Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Just here. Okay, brothers and sisters, bear with me. I have new systems here. I'm getting used to them. Anyway, this is again Sulaiman Rahim. Mention of Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Welcome. Welcome to the resurrected nation of Islam. Let's bring in our audio audience. Today we're going to be discussing Trickster. But first, our cost. Our cost. Sisters and brothers, I know most of you are not aware of the Abrahamic Covenant. And that's surprising, but then again, it's not so surprising. Because, most people know about Martin Luther King. And his last speech, before he blew his brains out, was about the Abrahamic Covenant. The Promised Land speech. He went to talk to Elijah Muhammad. We have the pictures. And when he came back, he had a speech. But you don't know the background behind it. The background behind it is that since 1930s, the preachers been told, the black preachers, they're the demon said master's children. They're not us. They're skin folk. They're told not to teach that teaching. Not to teach that. Because after Elijah Muhammad came on the scene and was saying that we the truth of Abraham, they had the proof, history, scripture, math, they had to set up a false Israel to counter that narrative. And they was told not to give fuel to what he was saying, do not talk about the Abrahamic Covenant. So the priests don't talk about it. They don't talk about it at all. And Martin Luther King stepped up and they blew his brains out. I told him not to get that speech. Because that undermines their whole ideology. It undermines their whole reality, their whole psychology. It undermines all of it. See? And we're the true seed of Abraham. So, if you read and true Abraham, the Abrahamic Covenant is in the so-called Old Testament and the New Testament. If you read it, right, there's a lot of different translations, but the two primary translations signifies a horrific or terrorizing situation, because when Abram is given to visualize it in a vision, right? Our condition is of his seed, right? It was a vision of horror in one translation, another translation a vision of terror. Now only one of them is right, but it doesn't matter in this situation because both go together. Because only way you can maintain a horror system is by terror. And we suffered horror day and night, 24/7, 365, 400 years, and we still suffer now horror from those. Not slavery. We still suffer slavery now too. See, slavery come in all forms. See? If you working and you put more in than you getting out, that's slavery. If you work at Burger King and Walmart and those places, that's what's happening. So that's still going on. That doesn't include rape, doesn't include murder, doesn't include burning, doesn't include dismemberment, doesn't include castration. See, it doesn't include any of those things. Just look it up. See, we don't look up things unless got NFL, NBA on it. Otherwise, we don't look up stuff. Unfortunately, because if you looked up Farrakhan, you see his father's a devil. But then somebody say, "Oh, what does that matter?" It matters. It matters. See, because if you took time to study the biology, you know that the seed comes from the father, and you whatever the seed is. You know, you want to get credit to the mother. Yes, she deserves all the credit. She carried that monster, that devil, for 9 months, nursed him, protected him. He gave birth to him through suffering and pain. See, but it don't change from being a devil. You can't. There's nothing you can do to change an orange to an apple. You can make it a sweet orange or bitter orange, right? Or a crooked orange tree, or with low yield, right? Or high yield, but you can't stop being orange. So if it comes from a devil, it's devil seed. Because we ain't all the same. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. Hard cost. That's what we experience. Hard, unadulterated horror for 365, 400 years, 24/7, day and night, no let up, no holidays, no birthdays. And you have to ask yourself, and I keep asking people, why in these so-called slavery movies, they never show the children? Why don't they show the children? In Django, you see any children there? Well, no children. You think all the slaves came from Africa and they came over as adults? And what about the children here? They don't show the children. See, because they're trying to whitewash this whole thing. They don't show the children. They don't want you to know that they was raping, beating, and numbering and tormenting children. That's how beastly. They don't want you to know that. They don't want their children to know that. They don't want children to know what they were doing to adults. You don't want to know to the children. I mean, you know what doing that to children? Because those adults, you see, they start out as children in bondage, in servitude, in a Holocaust. They started children, and they didn't start when they came out the womb. They started while they was in the womb because they were terrorized the mother, because they know she was terrorized and traumatized and under extreme stress. That would affect the baby in the womb. So the baby will come out terrified. It'll come out under stress. It'll come out in great fear. You won't even know why it's so fearful. You know that thing about George Floyd? You think that doesn't matter? George Floyd, they man stood in his neck and crushed. He snuffed his life out. He was too afraid to get up and do anything. See, you don't look at that side of it. This was a grown man. He was as big as that cop, but he was afraid, too afraid to get up and save his own life. He knew he was dying, but he kept saying it, and he was too afraid. You think that fear is still not in our people? That fear is, that's why many of them act like they act. That's why most of them are still Negro butts, because it took 64 years to transform you into Negro butt. See, biological robot. It took fear and terror to do it. 64 years. The first Negro bus came on the assembly line in 1619, right? It took 64 years. We came on 1555, 1619, started official slavery. It took 64 years to prepare us. And you came on assembly line, a Negro butt, fully programmed, but they don't want to hear that. See, and they snap you to a brand. See, well, your name is Arnold Richardson. That was a brand, it wasn't a name. Because they sold you to Master Jackstone, your name became Arnold Jackstone. And all the slaves that was on the plant had the same last name as you. They wasn't this. They all had the same name because it was brands. If you had 1,000 slaves, all of them last name would be Brownstone or whatever. And now you walk around, that shows you're still Negro butt. But that's one of the ways that's a tell. They know that you're still programmed. Because you're still heritage brand. You're still owned by master. And you don't realize that because you're still a Negro butt. Your program will be short circuited. But the hard cost, that's what you endured. The worst oppression ever inflicted upon any people, any time, in since the beginning of time. Worse. And we endured it for 400 some years. 400 some years. And our women endured it with us. And we had the responsibility to protect her. And she endured it with us. She caught the worst of it. And now we're going to sit around and be beating on her and calling her bitches and hoes and stuff. You better back check yourself, brother. See, because she had to go to war with these devils for you to be produced. Because it was up to them, we would never, none of us would have been produced. Because they was raping them. They deserved the right to break them in. They did. You couldn't have a relationship with them. It was for the incentive at the very best, at the very least. If you pick three things of cotton, then maybe you might be able to sleep with Sister Sarah on the weekend, about 5 or 10 minutes. But he broke him in. This is horrific. It's horrific. There's nothing short of horrific. And the only way you can maintain a system like that is through terror. But now they're trying to, the critical race, they want to call it theory. But there's no theory. See, they don't want the children to know they did. See, they don't want the children to know they're monsters. And they're the children of monsters. See, because they want this facade of the angel. And they kept that going until Muhammad came along, until the sun, to the God, the Lord of Dawn showed up, and that's from Muhammad, and then light started coming across the horizon. See, because there's no light in America for 600, there was no light in America for hundreds of years. Since they stepped on this planet, on this side of the planet, there's been no light here. Only light came when Master from Muhammad, the Lord of Dawn, came, and light started showing, come across the horizon. That's why I call him the Lord of Dawn. See, and you reflect that light onto Elijah Muhammad, they reflect that light back to us. And then Lion Farrakhan came with dark clouds after Elijah Muhammad left and put that light out. See, but now Suleiman, the sun rising, it's about high noon, it's going to spell all clouds. This light's coming in. But it's hard cause, brothers and sisters. Don't let them fool you. Slavery was the economic side of it. And even that was horrific. See, because they kept minimum of maximum profit, minimum overhead. Meaning they had to feed you because they keep in order to do all those things to you. So they fed you at the very minimum. Well, with shillings, that stuff they was throwing away. When a hog, that stuff they wouldn't eat it. That stuff they was throwing away from the hog when they slaughtered the hog, because it was shit and everything else in there. They said, well, we don't have to do it right, we whip to them. And they gave you just like that, unclean and everything. You did not clean it. They did not clean it for you. And to the extent they even cooked it, right? It was all still mixed in. That's the way you ate it, or you got whipped, your teeth got knocked out, and they put a phone in your mouth before you eat it. See, and these people you fist bumping with, you love, you want to lay up with, marry, jump over 10,000 sisters, get one of them skanks, and you want, well, sister, new day is on, new day is dawning. You definitely want the light to come on when you run around in the dark with your pants hanging down. You understand? Your lip deep down in where their tongues, your tongue deep down in where their tongues up their ass. You don't want the light come on and see you like that. Definitely don't want the light come on and see you in that condition. You don't want that. And light is about to break through. See? And all the stars be dispelled. Here you run around with a skank. Somebody that tortured your great-grandmother, beat her from the womb to the grave. That's why they don't sell children. See? Because even some of the sickest of the beasts would wonder about that one. See, why you did the children? See, there was more children. There was plenty of children. They never showed the children. They never showed the children. I can't recall any old slave movies, but they showed the children. And then in Django, they had the women on screens with nice clothes. You believe that? Do you really believe that? Candyland, Jamie Foxx, he's a demon. He'd be ashamed of himself. But why should he shame himself? Because the demon comes natural to him. He wouldn't be a man's house if he wasn't a demon. One master's children. See, we get the hit because they betray us in all these stupid ways. That's not us. See? And let me say this one other thing. You know, before they had movies and stuff, even after they had movies, silent movies, they would not let you be an actor in that. The first one I think was actor was like what's his name? Devin Fletcher. Ooh. But what they do is they just think, what do they call it? What do they call that movie? I forgot what they call it. Anyway, it was they made a remake of it. It was the most popular movies ever. It was about, you know, wrapped this Civil War one at a time. Anyway, all the actors there, I mean, they black people looking totally sick, right? But they wouldn't use black actors. No, they use white people with black face. See? Because they didn't want to have you no part of you. And then Amos and Andy, those of you old enough to know about Amos and Andy, that started as a radio show, but it had TV. And it was two white people and Amos and Andy. Amos, yeah, Andy. See? It was popular. See? And then when I went to TV, they had a question, well, what do we do? We wanted two white people playing roles. And so they decided to get two black people. Or Birth of a Nation, that was the name of the movie. They got a remake of it. That's what it was. They have all black white people playing, called Blackface. And one of their most popular, most people probably never heard of, what's his name? Al Jolson. Mammy. Al Jolson was like the most popular. I mean, he was like, I mean, I hate to make a comparison, but you know, Dave Chappelle, you know, he was the most popular thing back then. He was a Jew. They don't want to talk about this stuff. What he used to do is he was take and paint his face black and pretend he was white, pretend he was black. He was very, they loved it because white folks love being betrayers, fools, and ignorant and everything else. They get white folks to do it. And they would paint themselves. But now they got demons to do it. So they got a real black face doing the same thing, so it's more realistic. So now you buy it now because it looks like you, it feels like you, but it ain't you, it's skinfolk. See? Now I leave one more of them for God. See, we're gonna talk about that's why I'm doing this. Gravitate towards my main subject. I don't know, some of you remember, watch TMC movies where they got a thing called Charlie Chan. I'm not talking about Stephen Fletcher. He was in these movies. He was Stone Cold Demon. Now his whole thing was, he said, well, man, I was actor, man, some jobs that goes to give me. I do something else. I don't care if I was the best actor in the world. There's no way in the world I would let them give me $1 million to do that. And I've been approached. I'm not going into the details about that. But the point is, there's no way in the world I'm making my people look stupid, ignorant. But I will talk about it. When I was in Vietnam, I don't know what this is all about. It came out of nowhere. And I'm about 20 years old, right? This dude walks up on me. I was a sergeant, right? Would you like to be an actor? I don't know where that coming from, Sam. So, but I've always been independent. I was different. I said, "For what? Doing what?" So I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know, but I never watched movies. I watched TV too much because before I went in the military, but I was been in the library, but I hung out too. I hung out with, I mean, I came from those, I hung out a little bit, but I spent a lot of time studying and stuff too. But I was always in fights all the time. But, you know, because I want to talk about science and stuff. Man, the boys want to talk about that. I ended up getting fights stuff all the time, right? So he was talking about some JJ or something. I didn't know about no JJ. I think I might have heard somebody, I don't know, it's been that's 50 years ago. So my memory is very rusty on stuff back there, right? So I said, what do I have to do? He said, so I must do something about it. I said, man, why do I want to do that? I guess it was that JJ thing. I guess, that was like in the 60s, right? Because this is it's like 69. I was 20 years old in 69, right? No, hold on. I was about 18 or 19. I went in the military at 17. Anyway, I was in that area. I went to Vietnam. I got in Vietnam on my 18th birthday. 18th birthday? No, my 19th birthday. I actually got in Cam Bay on my 19th birthday, January 21st, 1969. In Vietnam, Cam Bay. So I must have been about 19 when they approached me. So I said, why would I want to act like that? They might be a little stupid. He said, why you mean make stupid? I said, so, I mean, I didn't know about Elijah Muhammad. Right? I didn't know about Nation of Islam. I didn't know about Martin Luther King. I didn't know about Malcolm. I didn't know any of that stuff. I left in 66, before everything broke loose. I didn't know about anything. But I knew who I was. I mean, I didn't know who I was either. Right? But I knew about. That's not I had gone down, getting distracted here. But I knew I wasn't going to scare these people. And I wasn't going to betray my people. So I told myself, so he said, no, man, he said, people love and everything. I said, yeah, but why would I would be an actor and make my people look bad and everything? He said, that would make, I said, yes, it make, I said, yes, it does. He got a child, right? Yes, it does. That'll make my people look like fools and everything. Yeah, but then he came out and said, well, you make a lot of money. I said, oh, I make a lot of money, make my people look like fools. Yeah, but you can use that money to help your people. Yeah, I said, okay, excuse me. I'm going to make people like fools. I'm going to stab them. Then we give them a Band-Aid? Is that what you trying to tell me? Man, you better get up out of my face. Now I don't know where he was coming from. He was testing me, maybe look me, getting CIA or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he came to me like that. I'll never forget it. I never seen him anymore. I never saw him before that, I never saw him after that. But he hit me like that. Came out. I mean, I was out there. He just walked up on me like that. See? But a lot of folks will do that. They do it every day. See? And I was gonna say the thing about it's Charlie Chan. Then back then they didn't want Chinese in movies either. Right? So if you watch old Chinese movies, right, they had Charlie, which was a popular movie. So they had a white guy, this Charlie Chan. And Stephen Fletcher was like his old butler or whatever. He was pathetic. He was pathetic. He was scared of everything. If he walked by a graveyard, happened to see the graveyard, right, they call him lightning. That's what they call him, lightning. But he moved so slow that he walked really slow, he was walking backwards. This is Stephen Fletcher. That's the most embarrassing person I've ever seen in my life. Right? And his eyes get to rolling. What's up, boss? It was sick. Why would anybody do that for any amount of money? I have no idea. He had to be a stone cold demon. That's what he was doing. See? And then, when the 60s came in, he was still around. So he got confronted with it. Oh, well, man, that was only what I could do during those days. That's what I was talking about with me. I said, well, you should find something else to do. Just because you're going to make us look bad because of me. So hell with him. He's a damn demon. And you got all these people, monsters, that make you look like fools. You don't see that? And some of you love it. You laughing and joking. You go to movies and you finance them. They don't care about you. They live with master. You finance all this stuff. You financing That's why I said Negro bus was programmed to self-destruct. Destruct yourself. The other people go in and watch and pay for people to mock them. Pay to get somebody to mock them. That's what they're mocking you. And that's why you pay for it. That's why you can't get a job you think you want. That's why you can't go travel without people watching you. That's why you got all these different things happening. That's why actors don't want your ass over there because they embarrassed by you because you're making them look like stupid all over the world because you look like them. So everybody think they like that. That's why in China, they don't want them over there because they see you. They don't want that shit over there. They want you to come over here. Look like, act like a fool, act like a monkey, act like an ape. Okay. Sister value, no clothes on. The moon, ooh, you know. Some nigga guy's nose or hair butt, ooh. And that's funny. It's like that so-called movie Black Panther. And you didn't see through that? I mean, your program's about to be short-circuited. But the Holocaust, brothers and sisters. For those who still got any brains left, don't let them get by the slavery stuff as a whitewash. Critical race theory or whitewash. They don't want you to know. That's why I don't show their children that they terrorize from womb to grave. So we'll get into the tricksters. All the tricksters, brothers and sisters. Oh, the tricksters. Oh, the old trickster boy. Tricksters. You know, we're told that Mr. Shed Blood. Oh, he's the master trickster. He's casted Jacob. The trickster stole his birthright. See. People get that story wrong too. The trickster. Well, he got a whole bunch of tricks for you. They're all tricks. See? Plant. See? Manipulate your mind that they gave you because you don't have the mind, right? Your natural mind. See, you don't even know what the mind is. And now you got this stupid dummy Ishmael talking something about some soul. See, he needs your shelving to go away. He's going away in a minute, right? Because if you read the Bible carefully, soul is just your body. Ain't no special thing. Because if you're going to go there, then what happens to that when you die? And there's soul going, he's out there, you know. It's just your body, bro. Since there's no superstitious thing out there, whatever, right? Anyway. They have taken and manipulated your mind. In other words, mind they gave you. See, you're told in Scripture you have to your mind has to return to you. You're told that in Mark. You're told it in Daniel, book of Daniel, right? It's other places too. But in the book of Mark, after demons were removed from you, see, that's Master's children, wolves in cheap clothing, the calf that was plaguing us. Louis Eugene Grounds, when he asked me what his name was, my name is Louis Eugene Grounds. And then why backwards? You can't make it up, brothers and sisters. Louis Eugene Grounds, that's Farrakhan's real name, NOI backwards. Got it, that's what he's done. So you don't have your, in other words, if your mind had been given back to me, you don't have your mind. It means you don't have your mind. You have some of the mind they gave you. See, because it said your mind was taken, it would give you a beast mind. That's happening down here, he was given a beast mind. See? And in Mark, you were self-destructive, you had a self-destructive mind. Who gave you that mind? They did. See? It took 64 years to program it, to develop it, and 64 years to program you. In 1619, fully programmed. Program to self-destruct, self-destructive behavior, right? Program to not answer any questions. Do whatever master tells you to do. Program not to think. Definitely not to think. See? And one thing about thinking, you know, you can tell a lot about a person's thinking ability by their vocabulary. Because what you need to think, you need a language. You need a language to think. And the more complex your thoughts are, the more complex your vocabulary will be. Your vocabulary is reduced to, hey dog, hey bitch, hey oh, hang out. And you on a roll. You stepping up. You know, what's happening, bro? If your vocabulary limits to that, then you're a fool. Because you don't know shit. So when they come out telling you no stuff, just check their vocabulary. See how much science they know. They haven't know anything about biology. They can't spell it. They don't know anything about mathematics. See, Islam is mathematics and mathematics Islam. So Islam is mathematics and mathematics Islam. How come these people that claim to be reliable Muhammad don't know any mathematics? They can't explain to you Islam in mathematical terms. They can't do it. They just can't do it. They have no idea. They're talking about numerology. It's not mathematics. It's fool stuff. That's for kids. And they'll lie in Israel. Oh man, we know the mathematics are less. That's a lie. You don't know the mathematics are less. It's a damn lie. A goddamn lie. I tell them to his face. If you knew, don't talk about it, show it. Get up there and show it. If you're not the mathematical lesson, just go up there and show it. Just one Sunday, just go up there and show it. Show the mathematics. Don't come with no numerology crap. Show it the mathematics at me. I can, but you can't. So they don't have any science or mathematics in their teaching because they don't know it. That means they have very limited knowledge. See, their biology is all messed up. They tell you one drop of black blood makes you black. It might make you black, it don't make you original. It's black-faced devil. If your father's a devil, period, that's biology. He said, what he said? He said one time, he said, Allah was in the sun. That boy is totally retarded. You don't know what the hell he's talking about. You can't see electricity. That's dumb he is. You ever seen lightning? Which think lightning is? Which think electrical arc is? How come you can't see that? No, that's why they never do Q&A. That's why they never do Q&A, ever. Because anybody would have a brain would debunk everything they say in 5 minutes. See? Less than that. But they tell you that we're still talking about the tricksters, but we're getting into it. They will tell you that you have nothing to do with the making of your children. They get them set with strict, with firm resolution. You had nothing to do with that. God did it. God's in the womb making babies. But then there's first children. God's man. He's a man. But you didn't have nothing to do with making your children. God did it. So how does that work? So he's in everybody's womb making babies. I mean, have you seen a microscope? You know what a microscope is? That means you can look down there. I mean, they have to test tube babies too, you know. And what about children that's aborted? So if God was in there, he could stop the abortion. He's making his baby, and he gonna let somebody stop him from making his baby. So anyone have more power with doing? No, this shit is more than stinks. So what about crack babies? God made a mistake. How about deformed baby? He was sick. He was sick. He fell asleep. You see what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? What about animals? Who making them babies? And then he tell you he's going to destroy his enemies. So what do you need a will for? He said you can't wake up unless God permits you to. So why not just not let him wake up? Why just keep his enemies? Let him can't wake. Don't let him wake up anymore. Why do you need to build a will? No, all this is just bullshit. But you don't ask any questions. But if you're a demon, you got to go along with that BS. But if you're a Negro, but you're not asking any questions. Because if you ask any questions, you say that don't make no damn sense. Make no damn sense. So in other words, Master Muhammad, he said he's a God. He's in every woman's womb making babies. He's busy. And all you do is a microscope and look down there and see if somebody's waiting back. Hey man, I got this, bro. I got this, bro. And they say that. And just go. That's why they got rid of archives, but they got so much bullshit just told snake when the was sneaking up the place, so they got rid of it. They got rid of all their old archives. They got rid of it. COVID coming because he didn't see that coming. He didn't see none of that coming. But yes, he's a great prophet. And that was an easy call. Because 1619 to 2019 is the Abrahamic covenant, where he talks about, I said he don't talk about the reward, he talk about the sacrifice. He don't talk about the reward going on. We ain't going nowhere according to him. Thank God. I'm a liar. But 1619 to 2019, that's what it says. And if 20, that means according to then God would judge. The first thing will be first of 10 plagues that would kill the firstborn, which the elderly, and pass over us. That's exactly what happened. I already said 1,000 times. Just check the World Health Organization. They published a paper not too long ago, about a couple months ago, or maybe a little more. They said they couldn't understand why this plague was not affecting Black Africa, Haiti, and so forth and so on. So now they don't talk about it. Killing you. You got like flies in what do they? So he didn't see that. And even in February, when that February come, he still didn't see it. Because he was there. The thing hit January. I was telling you about it before January, but when January came, right? And it came out right in January, beginning of January, right on time, right on time. Just like the scripture says. And then he had so-called Savior Day when that in the February, it's 2 months later, he still didn't mention. He didn't mention at one time, not close. Right? Passing anything. He has hair up to Kobe's ass, and he speak at all. And then 7 months later, in July, all of a sudden he knows all about it. And he's controlling it. And he's attacking Florida because he controls some bullshit. But see, brothers and sisters, you know, we're gonna wake up our brothers and sisters, 144,000, because only Suleiman could wake up the Lazarus. God couldn't do it, only Suleiman could do it. See? You don't want to defeat the demons. He's the one that only can determine who goes to the hereafter because he had to bid his land, his book of life. But you misinformed if you think that it said many will be called, but few to be chosen. So those people acting like that with stupid stuff, getting in the way, like this Eric and Seventh Angel and Farrakhan and Silas. See, Farrakhan, he's a demon. Silas may not be a demon, I don't know, right? But it doesn't matter because he ain't going, he going to hereafter because he's one of the people that's blocking this message. Here, I don't understand, it says the sixth seal, there their wrath has come. Who will be able to stand? There'll be no mercy if you're against this message. Say either with me or against me, there'll be no mercy for you at all. You kept talking all crap you want. I got message, black man, I live, all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, it would be shoved down your throat. And we had something against those books, nothing. Because what you're doing with them, how you use them, that's the problem. We're trying to tell people that's all it is. I was there with life in 775. Most of them was there. Silas was around. He was a minister. So he knows better. He knows that teaching Elijah Muhammad's teaching. And everybody that got any sense at all, they read, look at anything Elijah Muhammad said, no, Farrakhan, he ain't coming close. He ain't teaching none of Elijah Muhammad's teaching. Nothing of it. And everything that's in the message of black man, Elijah Muhammad talked about a lot of things that ain't in there. There's some things that are not correct. But the lesson said, he got it nearly correct. Anyway, let's move on to get real deep into this topic. First, I want to talk about money. That's one of his biggest tricks. And the reason why he's able to fool you with it, because you don't understand your creation. You don't understand your creation. See? We're in a pressure. Our creation, the whole universe is mathematics. It's not like mathematics. It's energy. Energy is mathematics. Not like mathematics. It is like mathematics. It doesn't operate. They tell you, well, it operates like on mathematical principles. No. It is mathematics, period. I know that people can't deal with that, but Energy, the whole universe is just energy. That's all it is. Energy is mathematics, period. Now, like mathematics is mathematics. That's why Muhammad said Islam is mathematics, mathematics is Islam. Energy is force. And energy, right? It's moving, right? That's not moving, there's no time. Time is transformed energy from one form to another. Right? That's force. And pressure is just force spread out. So the universe is one big pressure field. It's one big pressure field. That's our reality. Our universe, one big pressure field. Once you understand that, then you understand laws of pressure. That means we all have the same amount of energy. Everyone has, because in the pressure field, everybody has the same amount of force. And the pressure field, like you have molecules in there, bigger molecules move slower than the smaller molecules. In other words, there's a formula. Mass times acceleration equals force. So in other words, if force is 12, your mass is 12, then your acceleration is 1, because 1 times 12. If your mass is 6, acceleration is 2, because 2 times 6 is 12. If your mass is 4, acceleration is 3, because 3 times 4 is 12. So it depends on the bigger you are, the slower your acceleration, right? The smaller you are, the faster it is. When the more complex you are, the slower it is, and less complex, the faster. Once you understand that, brother, says, yeah, I don't cut a lot of things, but that's fundamental. Consequence, every action has an opposite equal reaction. That's force. That's the most fundamental principle in the universe. It's equal sign. All mathematics have equal sign. One side of the equation, the other side of the equation has to be equal. Otherwise, you have a current, a correcting force. So if you got a 10 on this side and on this side, you have a 1-point current. That's the adjustment. If you got a 10 on the side and 10 on the side, there's no current. If you got a 10 on the side, 5 on the side, you got a 5-point, say, we call it tsunami, or what do you call that thing? The wave, right? Well, maybe we'll call it tidal wave, a current. So if you got 10 to 5, you got a 10.5 point, right? Current, tidal wave. You got 100 by 5 inside, then you got 95 point, big one. Right? Because that's the correcting factor. And then all of a sudden, once it's corrected, there's no motion, everything's calm, seas are calm. See? I had an equal sign here. So current is just the correcting force. It's a justification. See? So that's also what bad luck is. Bad luck is a current. Luck is a current. If it's a positive current, it's positive luck. In other words, if balance is 10 and you only got 5, then you got a current tsunami going in your direction of 5. When tsunami coming towards you. That's the balance 10, that's in the universe at the time it's balance 10, you only got a 5, you got a 5-point tsunami coming towards you. 5 points is built like a big one. The universe is 10, 100, you got 1, you got a big old tidal wave coming towards you, bam. But the other way around, if the universe balance is 1, and you got 10 up here, you got hell of bad luck coming towards your ass. Right? You got a wave of darkness you can't, right? Because it has to balance. That's what good and bad luck is. See, once you understand math, now you understand what's happening. So you control that. That's what the 5 fundamental principles of Islam is. So you control that. You understand it's all about keeping the balance in this creation. Because you got 5 fundamental laws in this universe. The most fundamental is consequence. All the rest of it based on that law. Consequence. They say it's a belief in God. That's what it means. Because consequence is belief in God, but that's what God is. Consequence. If you understand the truth. See? I'm talking about God's mess. I'm talking about this universe. Because Elijah Muhammad said God's power and force. You see? So you're not talking about spirit. You're talking about because that controls everything. This Bible calls it the Holy Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit, right? Looks at hearts of the Father and the Son. That means we're all under power, under control of the Holy Spirit, which is mathematics. Holy Spirit is just mathematics. We're all under control of it. You can't get away from it. There's no exception. And Jesus, your blood, Jesus can bleed all he want to. He cannot change that consequence. Well, oh, just believe in Jesus and you don't have no consequence. Okay, you can believe that if you want to. We're going to talk about that in a minute too. So, that's what good and bad luck is. So the five fundamental principles, I'm not going to all of them, but you got the first one, that basically the second one's torque, that's spinning force, right? Next one is the cut, that's the counterweight, that's the current. See? The next one is actually the force itself. That's fasting, mass time acceleration, right? Because the more you eat, the less energy you're going to have. The more or less you eat, more fast you have, more energy you have, it seems the opposite. But that's the way it is. That's still the same thing. See? Mass time acceleration. And then the last one's it's Hodge with harmonic motion. It puts up enough pressure, right? Then it gets harmonic motion, right? Harmony. That's what those 5 minute principles. And once you learn them, you control your situation. You become the God of your environment, the God of your reality. Because right now, the devil's are the God of your reality. And you can reclaim your reality. I reclaim mine. But right now, they have control of it because you don't know those laws. And they're using money as the most powerful means to do it. Because money is the biggest lie ever. It's very powerful. See? Because remember I said, everybody has equal energy. That's pressure field. Mass times accelerating force, but force is the same for everybody. Now, as the universe contracts, there's more energy for everybody because all the energy out there is coming back to the earth. That means everybody's more energized, so they have more energy. And that happens every 50 years. It's momentous in the heavens and the earth, but it comes to you but of a sudden. So it's a wave of energy that comes back, the energy comes back to the earth, right? It's in the universe. The Quran tells you that because there's earth and heavens were one. Then span the heavens, that means the earth had to be the core. So the energy is coming back to the earth, right? And that the mathematics that proves it too, because the point is, the earth was the center, then that energy wave would just pass us on towards the center. We only get a little bit of it, but we get all of it. That's why we know it's the center. Comes back, it says momentous in the heavens and the earth. It means it's absorbed by the earth converts it into a form we can use. And that's happening right now. It happens every 50 years. The last one was the 60s, that we became energized in the 60s and we broke our social bonds. Well, 50 years before that, we broke our mental bonds when we started thinking Afrocentric or Eurocentric. Then 50 years before that, right, we broke our physical chains back in so-called, what they call slavery, which is Holocaust. And now we're about to break all chains. We're about to break a total separation. You're about to get a burst of energy. It's going, because that burst of energy changed America 50 years ago. And 50 years before that, it changed markets. God knows people came along, it changed. Then it changed America again 50 years before that. What's called Civil War. This is going to change totally. You're going to separate America. It's gone. So we're going to talk about that. But anyway, so you get this burst of energy every 50 years. So you don't understand that. So you think, see, they fool your money. Because what money does is give you a false sense of your energy. Because they tell you money's energy. More money you have, more power you have. Which is a lie. See? It's an illusion. But it's a powerful illusion though. See? Because one of the tricks of money is they tell you need money to transact, make any kind of transaction. So you go buy a house, you need money. But who you get the money from them? They get the money when they please. See? So it doesn't matter how much energy you have, they don't care about that. How much money you got. See? Now look at another way. Say you had $1 million. There's a lot of ways we'll look at this on this money thing. So you got $1 million. But don't you need to eat? Now what if you had $1 million, but they wouldn't let you buy anything? We're getting $1 million, but they want you to, you started with that, but you got $1 million. You start to understand, brothers and sisters, they control your reality with money. That's an illusion. See? Because you had $1 million, right? So everybody has $1 million. But some people have $1 million farm. Some may have $1 million orchard, whatever. But they tell you you're going to have $1 million. You only have $1 million in cash money. You can't eat that. You can't eat that. That's how they do that sinking and things like that. See, because they can't control the quantity of your energy. Now, everybody has the same amount, but they control the quality of it. So you accept that $1 million. So now, as far as nature is concerned, mathematics, you got your $1 million. Case closed. But now you can't buy any food with it. But you ain't gonna have no, you're not gonna have no current I was talking about. Because everybody got $1 million, so you don't have no current, no good luck or bad luck, because you got $1 million. You accept that. Another way I try to put more dramatic, I says $1 million shit farm is equal to $1 million gold mine. So they allow you to buy a shit farm, they allow their brother to buy a gold mine. So now you got $1 million shit farm. So far as the balance sheet is concerned, the balance sheet knows that God is mathematics. Mathematics, Islam is on mathematics. You got everything you're supposed to. You got $1 million. That's up to you how you want to use it. He's not going to tell you how to use it. See? He tells you, he don't tell you how to use it. He just make sure everybody, God is just. He makes sure everybody is just. Everybody has equal. Equal sense of justice. God makes sure everybody has equal. I'm talking about mathematics, I'm talking about subconscious brain. I mean, that's mathematics to make sure everybody's equal. So if you take and have $1 million, and everybody's supposed to have $1 million, but you can't buy any food with it, you still got $1 million. So what you crying about, you got $1 million. So if you can't convert the food, that's on you. And that's the situation in America, because they tell you how you can use that $1 million. Because when you leave out of here, right? It says when we left out, we leave out with great wealth. That means we have great wealth here, but they control it. And so you can't understand mathematics. Okay, let me another way. Okay, there's a housing. They got these big, what they call them, public housing, whatever. Right? It's like big building, like 100 rooms or 100, 200 units in there, right? So you live up in there. Man, I'm poor, man. I'm living up in this here. Public housing, right? There's 200 other people up here with me, man. Big old house, man. And there's 200 other apartments in here. All these people up in here, everything else. See, I'm poor? No, you're rich. See, they turn to quality. Because as far as mathematics is concerned, you live in a big mansion with 100 apartments. And you got all these neighbors, friends around you. You're a big tribe. You see? That's the way mathematics look at it. And you don't see that. So that's why nothing will happen for you. No good luck or whatever, because you got to live in a mansion. And you got all these people around you, and you got rooms in this big old house. See? And you're a real nice guy. You're a Democrat, because everybody do what they want to do. You ain't trying to control anybody, because you're trying to control something that costs too. But I'm trying to wake brothers and sisters up, man, because this stuff is, I know you can't see that because you can't stand mathematics. Oh, man, oh, no, that's the way it works. See, because most of you don't stand mathematics anyway. You have to ask, I haven't run to a brother yet, right? They tell mathematics, they don't know anything about, oh, man, well, I wasn't that good in mathematics. There's a reason for that, because you really mathematical masters, really, right? But you just don't know it, because the way they teach you, see, and they already destroy your mathematical ability anyway, because they taught you at birth, stop the thing, not mathematically, stop thinking mathematically. They taught you as soon as you come out of the womb, because that's what Christianity is for. stop you from thinking mathematically. We're going to talk about that too. So they control the quality of it. As long as you're here, they're going to control the quality of your mathematics. You have just as much as everybody else, but they control the quality of it. America's probably the richest nation on the planet, right? But how mathematics work? I'm going to say pressure field. So consider America pressure field, right? Everybody's the same. That means everybody here, you divide the wealth of America, right? A whole world, has everything else, and divided by the amount of people in that so which everybody has. Who's controlling it? So you get the garbage of America. That's part of the wealth. It's man, right? Protons is part of the wealth. So you got a symbiotic relationship where, right? You know, look up, brothers and sisters. No one talk about vocabulary. Look up symbiotic relationship. You know, most of you never heard that word. But you're involved in a serious symbiotic relationship. And you're a serious one. But this symbiotic relationship, in many ways, like two living things, and they coexist because what one produce, right? It's okay. Put it like this: we have a symbiotic relationship between trees. Because we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. But trees do the opposite. They take in carbon dioxide and produce oxygen. See? So that's a symbiotic relationship because we need each other. We need our oxygen, we need our carbon dioxide to keep them alive, right? And we need the air that they produce from that carbon. They take carbon dioxide to produce oxygen. And we take the oxygen, right, and produce carbon dioxide. That's a symbiotic relationship. So if we got rid of all trees, we die. See? So when they start deforesting stuff, all of a sudden you got ads and all that kind of stuff, you can't understand why you got it. Because you don't know mathematics. So when they go in Africa and start deforesting stuff, people start getting Africa, so they don't know why they get it. Because you destroyed part of your oxygen creation process. And so symbiotic relationships also between, right, recycling. And you see it obviously back in so-called slavery and Holocaust, because they would take and give us the shit. We'd have to go in. We got nothing, right? They took everything from us. We had to eat shit. We had to work 24/7. We had no clothes, no shoes. We had nothing of any significance. See, we got the shit side of the deal, and we took it and turned it into gold for them. And so they had a nice house, right? The farm, a nice farm, lawn, mow lawn, and all that kind of stuff, right? See? And they took the gold that we gave them and turned it back to shit. They gave us shit. We kept giving the gold. They gave us shit and gold, and they want to maintain that relationship forever. They don't want to let you go. You don't understand that nature of relationship. You're still doing it right now. You're going to work at Walmart. You know, all these places make these people rich. And you're getting the shit, they're getting the gold. And you don't understand it. As long as you be here, they're going to maintain that symbiotic relationship forever because it works for them. They get the gold end of it, we get the shit end of it. We live in the projects, they live in the mansion. See? They give you a cottage, they give you shit. I mean, you're eating shitless, it's still food. You're eating it. Getting calories. They just only count the calories. Shit calories are still calories. See? If God is coming to intervene, the intervention is to stop that symbiotic relationship. That's why I said you got to be separate. See, once you understand that, you know you have to leave here. You can't stay here. Farrakhan said, stay away because he's one of the demons. Because he's benefiting from that symbiotic relationship because you can't produce a damn thing in 40-some years. He take it from you. You give him the gold. He give you the shit. Scientology, bullshit, these philosophy and all that kind of crap. He ain't producing a damn thing. So when the oxygen, he want to keep you here, he want to stay here because he's on the positive side of the relationship. He ain't produced shit for you, nothing. But that's what he has produced, really. He has produced shit. And you give him the gold. The tricksters. And you don't understand what's going on, brothers and sisters. Because you don't understand mathematics. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Symbiotic relationship that's going on here. That's why Pharaoh did not want the people to leave. He hated them and everything else, but it was symbiotic relationship. Because if they leave, then they have to take care of their own shit. Then they have part of the population have to do what we was doing. See, when it was in Europe, before they broke out, after 1,000 years imprisonment, right? That's chapter 20. That's them. They don't want you to know that. It came from some millennia, right? But they had symbiotic relationship too, between their own people. So the king and stuff, they had to go and if thieves and all that kind of stuff, they ate the shit. They got tired of that, so they said, hell, we all gonna be kings, and we're gonna make them niggas shit from now on. So now we the plebes, and they the kings and queens and class and everything else. They tell you the wealth gap is like 1,001 between us and them. You still don't get it, and they're not gonna change that. They keep promising you because they don't want you to tear the place up. See, when they went over there, when they got angry, right? They beat up on the plebes and church and all that kind of stuff, right? See, what they tell you when you go to the psychology, you get mad, just go out and punch a bag, right? You get off your frustration. Well, we're the punching bag now. That's why you're not beating each other up anymore. That's why they're beating each other up anymore. What's happened since their ability to be able to started becoming limited after the so-called Civil War? What happened? 2 world wars. They're beating each other up because they ain't has to beat up as much anymore. And now that we're going to be separated, Armageddon. Because they can't beat up on us, they're going to beat up on themselves. They will destroy themselves. But all the time in Europe, there are all those wars up there. Those European wars. They had the Crusades, but they had wars. Germany against France, France against England. There are constant wars up there for 1,000 years up there in the Dark Ages. Beating up each other. They was totally unjust and tyrannical to each other until they got hold of us, and then they started being nice to each other. Oh, democracy, freedom, justice. Because they had this, but the same time they was doing that, well, they was doing the opposite to us. While they was calling freedom, justice, calling themselves, they was beating the hell out of us, tormenting us, Holocaust and everything else. Don't you get it, brothers and sisters? We that psychological punching bag. While they punching us, they don't punching each other. But now the ability to do that is becoming more and more limited. Now they start fighting each other more and more and more. And now they're going to have Armageddon. They're going to destroy each other because they ain't got us to beat up anymore. Because we're going to be separated out of here. I'm trying to explain to you about this. I'm trying to make you understand what's going on here. See? Money is one of the ways they control that. That's one way to control the nations. That's how they want to sort of say, you can only sell oil. So therefore now they can put sanctions on you because you got to have dollars. They control the dollars. And then even they give you money, right? They control how much it's worth. Right now, right? They gave you all that money. You were so happy months ago, right? And now all that money's gone, right? No, they did. They printed more money. They got all their money back. See? Because they gave you $1,000. Oh man, I got $1,000. Then they printed so much money, that $1,000 goes over. You bought $1,000, man, but you buy a little bread for $1, right? Now you got gas for $2 a gallon. So they print so much money now, gas costs $5 a gallon, and below bread costs $3. You know what I'm saying? So you that $1,000, you really don't have nothing. That same trick they would pull on you, right? I mean, they did to the Indians, they did to all over the place, right? But you got the reparations. Just look at this. Look at this thing. Okay, say for instance, first of all, if you got those 6 states you talk about, you think that they're gonna let him run it? See, Obama's confused and tricked him. That's no stuff. I'm thinking he don't have. Okay, they gave you the 6 states. Guaranteed they'll be landlocked. Guaranteed. It won't be California. It won't be Louisiana. It won't be Detroit. Right? Because they, you got black access to waterways. It'd be like Oklahoma or something, where you landlocked. So you get 6 states. They give everybody $1 million. Oh man, this is a great deal. I got $1 million, man. We got all land. They ain't telling you that. See, they ain't telling you that the land's almost barren, but they don't destroy the topsoil. So they don't tell you in plain English that the reason why they're getting this what they call it what they call this stuff, what they call it, fertilizer. They call it fertilizer. Oh, I guess they call it fertilizer from Russia because they run out of topsoil here. What do you think topsoil is? They wouldn't get that from Russia when they first came over here. They wouldn't get topsoil from anywhere because it was so topsoil so abundant. See? They say when you go to the lake, you have to fish. They say with so much fish in the lakes, you just grab one. They be jumping out. Did the same thing in Europe. They ruined it. They turned it into a shithole because they're shit people. See, we naturally turn shit into gold. They naturally turn gold into shit. That's what they turn you into a total shithole. So, when you take, how can I explain? I want to make sure I explain it very clearly. Let's come at it a different way. The land is barren, right? Because the topsoil is gone. That's why they get so much topsoil from Russia right now. I mean, they call it fertilizer. I think they call it something else. I don't know what to say. It's fertilizer. Something like call it nitrate stuff. And they also rip in factory. Africa for it too. That's most of them going to right now. But the bottom line is that, okay, let's put it simply. If they have to bring in that fertilizer to make things grow, they didn't have to first because they ran out of topsoil. That's why. So, say for instance, you got 6 states. That means you have to get stuff from Russia too. Now you got to get one stuff to grow. So if you can't get it, remember you're landlocked. If you can't get it, the sanction on you, whatever. Let's say you can't get it. Okay, we'll give them that one. We're gonna let the poor niggas have that, right? So you got $1 million. See, every time you put your faith in other people, you're a fool. Because every nation without for itself except for us. So now you got these 6 states. You know, for us to match these 6 states. Now you ain't no good to him, and now you got prime real estate. When they concerned, they said, man, we could be doing something with that, right? You did the Indians and put us reservations, right? That's not the problem, so that's how they end up. So let's look at a scenario here. You got $1 million, you got land, all the blacks over there, all the blacks, demons and all the saints. And if you think they're going to let you do those Christian Negroes, going to let you Muslims control this thing, and you're a minority, and they're going to want democracy because they're the majority, so they're going to demand democracy. Right? So they're going to eat pork and everything, but you ain't going to control it. So the Pharaoh can't sell you what they call it, a wooden horse. Because if you got it, you would control it. You'd be better off over here. And you don't want to be left alone with those Christians anyway. Christian black, they demons. They'll get your ass. Oh man, I don't need no pork. You ain't gonna get that. So I said, you got it. So even if Pharaoh can't got control, that is not going to happen. So they did. Okay, so now you got over there. Right? You got away from master. Got your own land over there. It's landlocked. And so you can grow, First of all, have you prepared for it? You have scientists, like engineers, biologists, farmers. You don't have that. So Farrakhan, he said, so why, if he tells you you're going to get that, why is he preparing you for it? Like Muhammad was preparing you for a nation. He never prepared you for nothing. But he's telling you a damn lie. He just wants your money. But say what you are prepared for. So we get all that. We get all that. As soon as you're over there, they close the borders. See, they close the borders. So now you're over there, they close the borders. Right? You over there, you got your own country, they through with you. They get ready, they through with you. You accept that as paying for all the shit they did to you, they through with you. But no, you got $10 million. Everyone you got their money. It's not gonna be gold. You don't give me gold. You give $1 million. Close the border. They tell all that people over here, white folks, put your money in precious metals, etc. Invest it. As soon as you do that, make a week, 2 weeks to do that, right? Put in bonds or whatever. They start printing money like crazy. Oh, they print money like crazy. So pretty soon, right, a loaf of bread, right? Because you affected, because you got their money. That's in Liberia. But they was using American money. They left here, went to Africa, got sent to Africa. They was using American money. That's what happened to them. So I said a loaf of bread that was $1 when you left here, $5 bread. That's $10. That's $100. That's $1,000. Get the picture? Because they print money like crazy. Because the more they print, see, the idea behind money is like you got this like certificate. So, say for instance, and they went off. They want the gold standard. But originally, say you had $1,000 worth of gold, right? So what they do is they would make up 1,000 certificates. They call them money. 1,000 certificates. And since you got $1,000 each, so each certificate, right, would be worth one. Let's say you had 100 pounds of gold, 1,000 pounds of gold, right? See, and so each certificate is worth 1 pound of gold. They put 1,000 certificates, right? Because they could tie that gold. It used to be the money used to be tied to gold. So it had 1,000 pounds of gold, got 1,000 certificates. Each certificate was worth 1 pound of gold. But if you print twice as many certificates, these certificates are half a pound of gold. 10 times as much certificate, each is worth 1/10 pound of gold. See what I'm saying? So the certificates worth less and less and less the more you print. That's what inflation is. So all that money you thought they was giving you back, much of everything, now they got it all back. Because they took, and now the money's worthless, so now you got less money you had before. And that money do you no damn good. That's what inflation's all about. Print more money, more money, right? But what the money's based on, the precious based on, right? It's not getting bigger. So the money's becoming less and less and less and less, right? So say for instance, you had 1,000 pounds of gold. I'm talking about, say you print 1 million certificates. And they were almost worthless. That's happened in Zimbabwe, right? So they got so bad, right? Like an apple was like a $10,000. That was happening in Germany. In Germany, like a mark is basic, like $1 for 25 cents. At least it was when I was there. And because of all of the stuff they was doing, Germany had to pay reparations, all kind of stuff, right? The place got so bad that that loaf of bread cost like a million marks. They was putting money in wheelbarrows. They was paying 3 times a day because the money was evaporating so fast. They demanded they pay 3 times a day because if you went in the morning, a loaf of bread might be $1,000, but by noon it worth $10,000. By evening it worth $100,000. They wanted to pay 3 times a day because they wanted to wait in the evening, because you know. And so that's what Hitler came in and said, we're gonna put a squad kibosh on that, and you know the rest of history. Stopped all that. So next thing you know, your money's worthless. That $1 million is worth nothing. Now you got 6 states that won't produce a damn thing, right? Because you don't have your topsoil is running out, so maybe you can do something for a couple of years, right? And your money's worth $1 million is nothing. Once it was crashing, nothing, it's worthless, right? It's no good, and you're throwing it away because it's no good or no value, right? Then when they do it, is either white folks over there to get their money back, or they do it in Vietnam. See, Vietnam would just do, they like, every month, they would change the currency. Because you have people on the black market and stuff, so we have military currency. And like every month, right, they would change the currency. So you had to be on the post when they did, because if you was downtown, like I had an apartment downtown when I was there 2 times, right? So the second time I had an apartment down in Saigon. And so I did on post at night, right? And so if you was on post, they changed it, and you had $1,000 worth of military currency, you was stuck, you was shit out of luck, right? Because that was no good. So now here you broke. You got 6 states of non-producing land, right? They closed the border. Ain't nobody can come to your aid because you're landlocked. Nobody gonna care anyway because you got everything you wanted. They gave you reparation. You took that for payment. Now you your own nation, you can handle it. So now you got effed up. That's your problem. See, I mean we gotta handle. We get our own nation. Then we gotta hold your hand. That's it. That's in the niggas. End of them. You begging master, please come back. When we come back over here, the boy's closed. No, you come back over here. Then you eat each other. And you don't see that. Farrakhan sees it. He wants you to stay here. That's the future they got for you. You know, oh man, I want reparations. Why wouldn't they do that? They'd be done with you. They tired of critical race theory, being blamed for all the stuff they did to you and everything else. They tired. They want to get rid of you. They want their children to know about you. They want to paint their own history. So now they got rid of you. Easy, mathematically, legally. And what can anybody say? Because you got everything you wanted. So who's gonna hold them to blame for that? On top of that, now you don't get your reward because God honors contracts. He made a contract for you to go home to the promised land, and you said, no, I don't want that Lamborghini I'm paying for. I'm gonna go for that Volkswagen Beetle. So you accepted that, so now that's what you got. So I got 5 Volkswagen Beetles instead of that Lamborghini. So God said, okay, well, that's, I came, you chose that over me, so now you got paid, you took payment. Look. You go out there and get in a fight. And you bad dude, right? See? You real bad dude. He knocked out 5 people in the hospital. So now that's assault battery. That's criminal offense. Only if they press charges. You understand? So you go to the hospital, hey man, look, I'm sorry, man, I don't know, I was drunk, whatever. I tell you, I give all y'all $20,000 a piece, man. I'll cover your hospital bill and everything. I give you $20,000 a piece in your pocket. Right? Just don't press no charges. Everybody say, cool, okay. You made a civil suit. So now you received that as payment. That's it. That's all over. See? You can't press no charge or anything because you agreed to do this. But if one person holds out, it's no good for him. He said no. Because if one person press charge, it seems like all of them press charge. So I have to agree. And that's why they had to take down Elijah Muhammad. Because everybody was on board with that reparation, everything else, except Elijah Muhammad. He said, we're going home. That's why Farrakhan's telling Bill we ain't going nowhere. So they had to take down that. But as long as he wasn't in agreement, right, then that whole deal would fall apart. Because they would have gave us reparations 20, 30 years, 50 years ago. If Elijah Muhammad was on board with it, it would have been gone by now. It would have been done, through. The whole thing wrapped up, we didn't be around anymore. Oh, man, those niggas, we gave everything one man. I mean, we did them wrong, but we paid them off. They accepted it. And now they're gone. They got their own nation now, so they destroy themselves. See, that's how they are, man. They couldn't take care of themselves. See, they should stay with us. They want their own thing. See, they say nigga, they can't. No, not. See, they don't like run nothing. We try to tell them, and now they're gone. See, that's what they get rid of because he was a holdout. And so that Farrakhan come, no holdout anymore. And they talking about ripping, but see, I'm a holdout. Because if one person holds out, one, and they try to get rid of me a couple of times. They don't think I'm trying anymore. See? Messing the covenant. Because if one person holds out, they can't do it. See? And they can't give me nothing they can give me. Remember, they came and tried to tempt. Remember the story about Jesus that rolled up on him in the desert? Hey, bro. Come on, man. Roll up with me, man. I give you all of this. All the nations. He say, I have all the nations except America. No, he said, I have all of them. So make that out of here, man. No? You don't understand, bro. This is serious. They're trying to get you to set 4 or 5 like the Beatles, and you got a big old Lamborghini sitting over there. Promise land, yours. It's all yours. Where you could turn the quality, where you control the quality of your wealth. Because right now, you got $1 million shit farm. You're over here with $1 million shit farm. That's all they ever let you have. See? Because you're wealthy, but they control the nature of your wealth. They control the nature of your wealth, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. I would think I'm going to cover a couple more things. I'm going to let it go. Because, I mean, there's so much I can talk to you about. Because you don't see it that way. You don't understand it that way. You understand something basic. It's like working at McDonald's. Now, I'm not a calorie counter. I'm not a dietitian. But I know you work and you burn so many calories working. So a hypothetical example here. If you burn $1,000 a day calories working, you work 5 days a week, that's 5,000 calories that you burn. So in a week, they give you enough money. You got to pay your car notes, you got to pay your house, you got to pay your rent, right? You got to pay with children, all that stuff, right? So what money you got to pay on your bills. So if you got enough money left, and you only got enough money to buy 300 calories worth of food, what'd you call that, brother and sister? You're going backwards. You're still a slave. And that's what's happening at Burger King, McDonald's, all these places. So that's what they mean. You got to work on living ways. They will come out and tell you the mathematics of it. Because they don't want you to know the mathematics of it. Because then it'll be too clear. And then maybe start studying mathematics. That's mathematics. You're not making a living wage. That's what they mean. You're going backwards. You're still a slave. Minimum profit. Minimum overhead, maximum profit. All the tricksters. That's just one way to use money. See? So how you use it. Because once you set money, because how you use it, we don't have money in here after. We won't have nothing stupid as that. It's a controlling mechanism. And it works. And then you think somebody's got to be nice more than you. Because you look at the money. You ain't looking at the bad luck clouds, with head, right? The fact that, he's got $1 billion, right? But his family, he got cancer, right? Or he's 80 years old, and he being there at 80 years old, 90 years old. And here you are, you homeless, you're 20 years old. I guarantee you, he's 90 years old, and got $1 billion, and you 20 years old, homeless. I guarantee it, he would change places with you in a heartbeat. He would change places with you in a heartbeat. Because the real value is that youth. Because 90 years old, and what does that mean? Do you understand math? So let me try to do another way, then I'm gonna let it go, brothers and sisters. So much. I'm trying to get a little. I want to talk about this religious thing too, but I want to So I don't, I'll let me forget this religious thing, but it takes energy to think your eyes, to go to bed, everything you do. And it's just force. So thought is force, period. Go without thought. If you don't have a thought, you can't move anything, you can't do anything. So you have to do the think because how much energy you have. So say, for instance, your body requires 1,000 units of energy every day. So your body requires internally 1,000 units of energy every day. But it's only 500 units available. See, when the universe is told it could expand it, that means let it ensure everybody. That's why I talk about energy deprivation. So we went through a 550,000 years period of energy deprivation. We're coming out of it now. We officially came out of it in 1948 when we had enough energy to maintain ourselves. Not enough to maintain a civilization, but enough to maintain ourselves. We didn't have that before that. It was powerless. So say you require 1,500, but you only get 1,000. That means you got a 500 deficit. I mean, you have enough energy to maintain yourself. So your body is intelligent. So your body's trying to figure out what's the best use of the energy to maintain yourself because it looks at the most critical organs. So it's the heart, the lungs, right? That's what happened. So your least important organ is your skin. Your skin's an organ. Look it up. So that's why you start looking over something wilted because you can live with bad skin, but you can't live with a heart. You can't live with a dead lung. So your body starts compartmentalizing energy, trying to figure out what's the best place to use it to keep you alive. That's why you start looking old. You're wilting. This is not old age bloom, it's just wilting. But I'm gonna get to my point. So here you are. That means you don't have enough energy to think properly. Because you need 1,500, you only get 1,000. And your body's compartmentalizing, so your brain's getting all it needs. It's going to have to share it around. So therefore, your thinking capacity is going to be diminished. So you're going to make mistakes. So you got energy deprivation. Remember I said the current. So you got 500 units energy deprivation, but that's also 500 units of bad luck. Why? Because you need 1,500, so you're going to get that 1,500 because you need it. But then you got but you got 5 years of bad luck. If you go in because you got to take from somebody else. Right? If you don't, then you just have a deficit. But if you take from somebody else, then you generate 5 years of bad luck because everything has to be 1,000. And then you 1,500, so now you got 500 units of bad luck. Or you just got a 500 unit deficit. Either way you look at it, you got bad luck or just a deficit. But from my point of view, probably the same damn thing. So maybe thinking properly, but then everything's going bad. You got all these bad problems. You be thinking properly, but you got all these problems to solve. Or you're not thinking properly, you don't have no problem to solve. But you don't think that well. So what happens, so say for instance, now, everybody has 1,000, right? But someone else has 10,000. Everyone has 1,000, right? That means they got 10,000 units of bad luck. Are you looking at how much they got? They got 1,000, man. Look, they got 10,000 units of energy, man. Look, man, that got rich, man. They got a nice car and everything else, right? He's got 900 units of bad luck, his head. What does that mean? That means he have a child that's messed up, right? That means he's thinking improperly. Right? So he's going to invest in this island, right? Because it's all mathematics. You don't know this island's about to blow up, a volcano in a year. So he told the whole family and they all get blow up in the volcano. It's all mathematics. So all you see is what they have. You don't see the consequences of what's going on behind the scenes of what they have. That's why money is such a diabolical thing, because people don't know, because you're envious and jealous of someone, and you don't realize you got the same they got. So now you sit here and you don't have no Lamborghini, right? You got a decent car, right? Yeah, you got a mate that you can get along with, right? Another person, they got 10 times much you. They got divorces, they got all the other stuff going on. See, so they have just what you have. This much you have. See, it's just different. It's like 5 plus 7 equals 12. 6 plus 6 equals 12. 8 plus 4 equals 12. It's just different but equal. Well, it is. Once you understand the mathematics, I mean, you stop being envious and jealous because you know, or that person, you got all that money, right? But his whole seed is about to be destroyed. You don't have a future. Or he has children, right? They're self-destructive, so his line, he destroys his line. See? We don't have any sons anymore. So his whole line is being destroyed. You don't have any future. I can give all kinds of examples, brothers and sisters. But you don't see that part. See? You don't see the part where you may be cultivating a tumor. He's stealing from everybody, so he's cultivating a tumor that you don't realize until it's too late. See? So you see they got that money, and you want it. And then so you go after it. Now you cultivating tumors and look at all kinds of other trouble that you run into, right? Accidents and all kinds. You call it accidents. It's not accident. No such thing as accident. It's mathematical correction. Accident is a mathematical correction. That's what it is. Let me talk about religion for a minute. Then we move on. Brothers and sisters, everything costs. I said it's a balance. So I gave an analogy about drugs. Now, in general speaking, now, like I'm not a doctor, right? I understand the basic physiology. I understand our creation. So, in general terms, right, you produce a thing called endorphins. Now, what endorphins basically does, right, it gives you a sense of well-being. Because you produce so much a day. Right? You get a sense of well-being. And it covers up a lot of those things that you wouldn't, because if those endorphins goes away, a lot of joints and stuff, those things, people pay for everything because, you're rubbing against them, but you don't feel it because endorphins cover all that stuff up. So because your body, body has aches and pain because it's rubbing up. So all kinds of mechanical things, right? But endorphins cover all that stuff up. So you got enough, you get every 24 hours, because we live on a 24-hour cycle. That's why we sleep. Our body regenerates itself every 24 hours. Right? So you produce enough endorphins that get you to 24 hours. So here comes the heroin, Mr. Opium, right? It's a smack, Mr. Mr. Opioid, right? He comes along and says, "Hey man, I got this thing for you, man. It's gonna make you high." So you buy it. Remember, everything costs you. So what happens is that what this stuff does, unbeknownst to you, is it takes that endorphins that you got 24 hours worth and squeeze into 12 hours. Now you feel real good. You feel twice as good as you felt before for 12 hours. Then you crash because you use up all your endorphins. Now you got withdrawals. That's where withdrawal pain comes from. It ain't because of drug. It's because that's where you would feel like you didn't produce endorphins. You have none. You use them all up in 12 hours. But you felt good, but you felt twice as good you normally do. Now you look, man, I got something better than that, man. See? It's more powerful than that. And what this does, you use it all up in 6 hours. Man, you fool. Oh, man, I felt 4 times. Man, I felt like this before. 6 hours. Then you got 18 hours of withdrawals, man, you're agony. Because once you do it, then you try to take another, you don't feel as good anymore. You say, how come I don't feel like I felt the first time? Because you use up everything. This dude comes along, man, hey man, check this man, you never go back. You squeeze all it down into 1 hour. Now you blow your top, man. You just went through the moon. And you, wow, I ain't never felt like that before, man. Right? You blow your lid, bam, bam, oh, oh, ah. For 1 hour, man, you're like, bam, bam, thank you, bam. And then for the next 23 hours, man, you, oh, hit, man, I suck. See what I'm saying? That's what's happening. They ain't sold you nothing. They trick your dumb ass. Make you misuse your body. You thought you was getting something, you wasn't getting a damn thing. Mr. Trickster. So you pay for that. You pay for that high. You don't get nothing free. And they had people locked up in that. Now they locked back, they locked into it now. See? For all other kind of reasons I'm not going to right now. Because opioid, so long as you feel good, but you got to pay for that. Pay a price for it. That's a physical opioid. But you have psychological opioids too. See? Something to make you feel good. So you think you're getting something for nothing, but you're paying for it. And that's religion. See? And Christianity is the worst of all. Because they tell you, man, they have you floating in a cloud. You know, you got to believe in Jesus, and you ain't got to worry about nothing, man, because you saved, and you're going to be in heaven, and you float in a cloud. You feel good. It's a lie. You feeling good. See? Because you're setting that lie psychologically. See? But you lose the touch of reality. You're paying for it. Because to believe that you have no touch, no connection with reality. You have a sync with reality. Because everything about Christianity is totally outside of its own reality. From start to finish. From start to finish. And when they take you out of reality, then they control the nature of your energy. Because you're not controlled, because you look for something after you did. You look for somebody, Jesus do something. You praying for stuff. And they got mathematics. They ain't praying for anything. They want something. They look at the mathematics and make it come into existence. Everything they have, everything you see around you, it didn't come through existence through prayer. It came through existence through mathematics. But you ain't going to never go there because they don't want you to learn mathematics. And on top of all that, right? Like I said, right? You got to touch a reality. And mathematics is reality. But you have to touch with it. Everything about it. Right? There's such a consequence in there. Or you have to believe in Jesus. No consequence. You do everything you want to. No consequence. That's the most fundamental principle of Islam. Right? Just confess. You got to kill somebody, confess. You believe in, you get high off of nothing, that you think you're going to heaven, you're saved, that's a lie. But you get high, you got to pay that high. With your mind, because you have to have a distorted mind. You have to have a deformed, efficient mind to believe that. So you're taking something out of reality. So you lose control because you're not out of reality. Those who have control of reality control you. This is what's being done to you. So it's an opioid that you're paying for. You're not getting anything for free. It's a drug, psychological drug. Well, it is a psychological drug. It's just as effective as the physical drugs. Depending on how much of it you take. And she said people, they extreme with it. They saved, they super saved, double, triple saved. They speak to God, God speaks to them. They heard from the Holy Spirit. Sanctified, glorified, baptized. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, man. Totally out of such reality. Totally. That's the cost for the religious. That's the cost. Everything costs. You want to feel all that kind of stuff, you gotta give up reality. You gotta give it up. And once you give reality, then you are controlled by those who control reality by definition. That's why they do it. They give you religion, right? As an opioid, so you be pacified. And you ain't after them. You ain't trying to get revenge. You ain't trying to get any power. They render you powerless. Because what is power? See, remember I said you have energy, you have so much negative, you have so much internal energy that you need. So when the energy, the balance is 1,000 and you need 1,500, you got a negative, you got 5 years of bad luck, if you want to look at that away. So you have an energy deficit. See? But what if the energy, as the universe starts contracting, energy gets up to 1,500? Now you don't have an energy deficit anymore. So now you have enough control of yourself. But if they can trick you into not using that energy for that, then you're suffering what? Self-imposed energy deprivation. You know, man, come party, man. See, Elijah Muhammad broke that whole cycle. He said, I'm going to be using that money on drugs and fornicating, all that kind of stuff, right? And so he built Mason, he strengthened his people. But you kept doing that kind of stuff, so you had hypertension and everything else because you were suffering self-imposed energy deprivation because you had enough energy to maintain yourself, but you didn't use it that way. Okay? So where does power come from? Now, that's external energy. Now, when 1948 was at 0. That means wasn't some energy deprivation anymore. We had enough internal energy. We have no external energy yet. So now we start gaining external energy. Now, external energy is where power comes from, because it's how you control that energy. Like if you got money, like it has disposable income, right? Now you can invest that money or you can splurge with it. If you invest it, it turns into power. If you splurge with it, you blow it. You're homeless something. That's where you end up. So when the Bible talks about righteousness, that's what it's talking about. It's just the form called discipline. So if you discipline yourself, the energy, it turns into power. See? And still, see, we had no power before 1948. We had no possibility of power because we didn't have enough energy to even maintain ourselves. In 1948, we had no power either. But after that, we started gaining power. See? We started gaining energy that we can transfer into power, and that's what Elijah Muhammad did. He said the Levites, he taught them how to transform their energy into power, and he did. And they became a powerhouse that shook this planet, shook this country as the planet was watching that. That was known all around the world. Because we were supposed to be that damn stupid, everything else. That wasn't supposed to happen. We weren't supposed to build a nation. We were supposed to be doing that stuff that Elijah Muhammad was doing. These damn niggas, and look what they're doing over there. Because he's taught them how to turn their energy into power. That's what righteous mean. Means discipline, right? But it's comprehensive discipline, which comes out of 5 fundamental pillars of Islam that teach you how to display your energy. That's what that is, brothers and sisters. See? So they can show how much power you have by tricking you into preventing you from turning the power by tricking you, deceiving you. Oh man, party, let's go see JC, right? Let's go see Beyonce. Let's go see the Denzel. Let's go party. Let's hang out. Let's get high. Let's go to church. But you're powerless in the church because the church will teach you no power. Now these churches, they don't teach discipline. They tell you, you shouldn't be doing this, but you go in and you can do all that stuff. As long as you put money in that basket, you can come here homosexual, whatever you want. They don't care. You come with no clothes on. As long as you put money in that basket, they don't teach you no discipline. That's happened to Europeans. Because they was with the Catholic Church, the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church wasn't Christianity. That's what they call it. See, it was a fusion of Rome culture with the way what was Jesus teaching. They had hours and stuff there. So for 1,000 years, because they went that way, they failed. They lost their power because they was told Adam said you had to follow this guidance to have that rule. And then what happened? When they came out, the Puritans, all these people, right? See, and they was disciplining themselves according to what they thought the Bible was saying, right? They went fornicating, all this kind of stuff, and the power came back. And then they took it and cut right from the cake with mathematics. They touched God, they got a little peep. Just a peep. Their mathematics is minor compared to ours. That's why they can't take up those planes flying around. They don't know what the hell was. They admit they're there, they don't know what the hell they can't do with them. And when that power came back, they knocked every religion on its knees. Every religion in submission to Adam and his power, his mathematical power. Every one. Sunnism, Hinduism, Buddhism, he defeated every one because they was nothing but religion. They was nothing but mysticism. They wasn't real philosophies because mathematics ruled them all. They messed with them. They throw one of their beads or prayer beads or flying carpets or crying at them. They send a cruise missile back up their ass. And to make them insult the injury, as soon as they say, man, nothing happens to Allah's permission. Nothing happens to Allah's permission. Then who's this guy? Yes, that must be Allah's permission, right? So you should be saying, praise be to Allah. That cruise missile blew up in your ass. See how stupid that shit is? See, because that mathematics just blew it away. But now they turn away from that. They're eating it again. It's not coming back. They too far gone. They're in free fall. Because it was a discipline they gave. They think it's their machines, their planes, their material. I mean, their ships, right? Their military. They think it's all no. Tells you, John, Daniel tell you, they put their trust in their military. Their power came from the discipline, righteousness. They depart from that. And now Suleiman's on the scene. He's waking up Lazarus with the ultimate discipline, teaching the science of discipline, which is science of war. See, a lot of Muhammad said they wouldn't teach us science of war. Yeah, I also I'm talking about. I talked about it a little bit the other day. Science discipline, because you're the God, maker, owner, creator, tenor, God, and Israel. Once you adopt the 5 fundamental principles of Islam and apply them, then you have control. You have ultimate power. Because you came up with angels, you're going back gods. We're going to stand, brothers and sisters. We're going to leave it there. Leave it there, brothers and sisters. And to my audio audience, this is Black Alert segment, the Fire Zone out. And for the video audience, remember the hard zone? Excuse me, remember the Holocaust? Remember the Holocaust, brothers and sisters? And let them keep telling you about some slavery. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Oh, I keep getting this wrong.